Think of perfect operational flow like this smooth track. Everything moves effortlessly until it hits a bottleneck and the system suddenly backs up and jams. If you work in operations, you already know the standard prescription to fix this: lean management and the just-in-time philosophy. The textbook ideal of just-in-time is a pure pull system. In theory, you hold zero inventory, and no work begins until a specific customer demand triggers it. This creates a widespread assumption. It suggests that to achieve ultimate agility, you must systematically eliminate all push processes, anything relying on forecasts or pre-planned production. But looking closely at the most responsive, high-performing organizations reveals a clear paradox. They deliberately violate this theoretical purism by building rigid push logic right into their core operations. Professor Yossi Aviv describes operational agility as the intentional, coordinated use of push and pull forces. We will explore why a dogmatic focus on pure pull systems can inadvertently create operational latency, and how a hybrid architecture provides the speed that theory often lacks. Let's start with physical manufacturing, specifically rapid on-demand assembly. Dell's build-to-order system is often cited as a highly responsive, seemingly pure pull operation. This diagram shows the decoupling point, where forecasted preparation meets real-time demand. The right side is pull, final configuration and shipment, triggered by a customer's unique order. The left side represents push. Dell forecasts and procures foundational components, like motherboards, well in advance. These baseline components are stocked strictly based on supplier lead times and historical forecasts. This requires holding actual physical inventory. Dell is not failing at just-in-time by holding this stock. They are placing inventory where design flexibility is low and lead times are long. Executing a rapid pull response for the customer is dependent on having those upstream stages already pushed forward in the process. In hardware manufacturing, true just-in-time means sacrificing the illusion of zero inventory to guarantee zero latency at the customer interface. Consider how this logic applies to professional services. Take corporate law. Firms like Deloitte Legal operate in an environment of high-stakes, highly variable demand. If they treated legal crises as a pure pull process, starting their analysis and drafting entirely from scratch the moment a client calls, the response would be too slow and expensive to be viable. This workflow shows the division between regulatory foundations and live case execution. Standard template contracts and compliance calendars are pushed into readiness without waiting for specific client demand. When a live case begins, the legal team pulls these pre-designed assets and customizes them. We see the exact same architecture in life-or-death service environments, like the Mayo Clinic. The pure pull elements of healthcare are obvious. Unpredictable patient symptoms dictate immediate diagnostic tests and treatment paths. Nothing happens without a clinical trigger. But supporting that real-time clinical judgment requires a massive push architecture operating in the background. Administrators forecast and push complex systems weeks in advance: staffing rosters, operating room block schedules, and bed capacity planning. Whether delivering legal defense or clinical care, bespoke service agility is impossible without a rigid foundation of proactive, pushed capacity. This principle remains absolute even in the infinite reproduction environments of digital code and creative media. Look at software DevOps teams like Netflix. Their reactive side runs on pull-based logic. Engineers launch immediate investigations triggered by user complaints, performance degradation, or unexpected error spikes. In parallel, they rely on a heavily structured push foundation. Scheduled deployments and automated testing pipelines run continuously. Developers cannot wait for user demand to build basic infrastructure, nor do they execute plans blindly without real-time signals. The two logics are tightly coupled. We see this dynamic in modern marketing campaign planning. Teams are expected to react instantly to social trends, tailoring messages quickly across digital platforms. This agility relies on extensive push preparation. Teams build content libraries and branding elements in advance, without knowing exactly which campaign will use them. When a trend emerges, teams pull from this pre-built foundation to customize the campaign's timing and tone, rather than manufacturing creativity from a blank slate. Even in the most fluid digital and creative fields, operational responsiveness and structural discipline are co-designed to prevent systemic chaos. We see a single governing rule spanning physical hardware, bespoke services, and digital environments. This scale weighs the theoretical ideal of lean against the proven reality of hybrid systems, and the results are clear. Building these systems requires moving beyond the singular goal of zero inventory and the pull-only model. You must pragmatically surrender theoretical leanness to gain actual systemic speed and resilience. Push creates readiness, pull brings relevance. These two forces work in tandem. It is the perfect synchronization of preparation and execution. Just-in-time involves doing the right things at the right time, achieving a balance between preparation and response to deliver customer value.